Hey guys, Coach Dylan again from the Lambright. Today we're going to do another Cardio Crushers workout right in the office. Here we go. So we got a couple things we're going on today. We're going to do a little bit of a warm-up. We're going to do some sprint sections, and you can do this either outside, sprinting up and down the street. You can do jacks in place or high knees or mountain climbers. You can do squat jumps for the cardio burst portion. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be super explosive at the right gears. Moving on to the lift section, you can either make use of a resistance band if you got one. I have one that I picked up for like $3. They're pretty cheap. But they're useful for all kinds of things, not just on the physical therapy side of things, but also for working out as well. You can see some pretty good uses of this in the glute activation demos that are on the YouTube channel as well. I'll try to put a link below for that. But resistance band's pretty handy. They're super cheap. If you're doing this like right now and you don't have one, you don't have time to get one, that's okay. We don't necessarily need it, but we'll probably want to make use of two weights today. As you see, I got my gallon jugs here filled up with water. You can use cans, canned beans, whatever you want. That works just fine for this stuff. But our lifting's not going to be super fast today. We're going to be consistently moving through it in a smooth, controlled rate. But today we're trying to get that heart rate up to about 85-90% of maximal effort, and then kind of sustaining it there for a good chunk of time. Alright, for the warm-up, we got 3 exercises we're going to do, about 30 seconds each, 3 times through. And we're not trying to go hard, we're just trying to get limbered up and get the heart rate up a little bit. We're going to do some shallow lunges, we're going to do some, light push-ups, and then we're going to do some jacks. So the light push-ups, what that means is it depends on the person. But however you normally do them, we're going to downgrade them by 1 step. Just kind of check the shoulder girdle, nothing crazy. But we're going to start off with lunges. And you can either do these walking forward, or you can do them in place. That is fine. But what we're looking for, if you're doing them in place, we probably want to do reverse lunges. Just coming down, just deep enough to get that glute firing a little bit on the way up as we push through the heel. And we want to be right here. And we want to keep the shoulder under, the hip under the shoulder. We want to be nice and smooth down and up the whole time. Keeping the knee stable, right? So just like any other time we're doing a lunge, keeping that knee stable. We don't want to be doing this. I know we're just getting warmed up and we're trying to get stuff firing. This is why we're doing lunges though, because it's going to help us keep those hips stable while we're working, all right? Just nice and smooth, down and up for 30 seconds. Then we're going to do 30 seconds of light push-ups. And if you normally can do bunches of push-ups, you can just do 30, you can just do 30 seconds of push-ups, that's fine. Just take your time with it. You can do it on an elevated surface. In my office, I got the crib here nice and handy. So, nice straight line from my shoulder all the way through my knee and my ankle, and we're just going to be down and up. You can easily do level 1, 2, or 3 push-ups, either on your knees in a nice tabletop position, right here. I would highly recommend getting a mat on your knees to do this though. Or you can do it on your knees with your hips extended. Just make sure you pull your feet up, that way you're not grinding your kneecaps into the ground. Or you can do them here in a level 3 push-up. But notice the whole time, those forearms are staying straight up and down. We don't want to see your elbows popping out to the side. You want to be right here the whole time. Pushing through the chest. You should feel it squeeze kind of right through here. And then the last thing we're going to do in the warm-up are a set of jacks. 30 seconds. Just nice and light. One big thing of note on the jacks is we want to keep them fairly narrow. We don't want to get out wide because then we're going to put a lot of shear force on our knee. And that's not good for your knees. Knees aren't supposed to bend that direction. But we can get just as much work out of our cardiovascular system and our calves by keeping them narrow right under our hips, and then we're nice and stacked up and we're not cranking on our knees. Now get the job done. 30 seconds of each. 3 times through. Moving on. For our sprint section, we got 3 sets we're going to do. We're going to do 4 of each. In the first one, we got 2 gears. We're going to go easy, which is our 65 to 75% effort, should be able to talk. If you were doing this with a friend, you should be able to talk, carry on a conversation, an easy effort. And then the other gear we're gonna use is our push gear. And that's about that 90 to 95% effort, where we're not going as hard as we can, but we wanna float right around 90, 95%, really get that heart rate up a little bit. And we're doing each for 30 seconds. So it's gonna be 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds recovery, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds recovery, 4 times, right? So it's a total of 2 minutes of work. That's it. And you can do this either sprinting outside, or you can do it inside. And again, you can do jacks, you can do high knees, you can do squats, speed squats. If you have an impact issue with your knee or your back, your ankle, it doesn't really matter what we're doing as long as we're using the big muscles and we're working at the right effort level. After we do 4 sets of the 30 and 30, we're gonna push that push time just a little more. So we're gonna go 30 seconds recovery and then 45 seconds of push. Whatever we were just doing, we're just gonna keep going. 4 more sets, 30 and 45, and we're just gonna go the same intensity just a little longer. So again, you can run outside, you can do high knees. If you have a treadmill or elliptical at home, use those, they're great. You can do it on the bike. It doesn't matter what modality you use. We just want to be working at that 90 to 95% effort level and getting that heart rate up there. By the time you get done with that, you should be sweating pretty good. We should be working pretty hard, but we're good and warmed up. And that's going to allow us to do the last set of sprints. Again, 4 reps. 4 is kind of our magic number today. 4 reps of 30 seconds of everything you got, 30 seconds of rest. And the difference between this one is, yes, we're going as hard as we can for 30 seconds, but we're getting 30 seconds of complete rest. That doesn't mean just sit down. You're going to want to keep moving, keep walking, so you'll recover a little better. But then we need to push hard again when that 30 seconds is up. And that's as hard as you can go. So if you are one of those people with impact issues that doesn't have a bike or an elliptical at home, you can do these doing speed squats. And so you're just cranking up and down as fast as you can go. On this hard section, we want to make sure we're probably grabbing onto our weight, so we weigh a little more so we can get a little more oomph out of it. All right. After we get done with our cardio burst section, our heart rate's up, we're good and sweaty, we're good and warmed up, everything's firing, we're feeling good. We're going to move on to our lifting. And we're going to slow it down just a tad here. And so we're going to go 45 seconds for each exercise. So again, make use of that timer on your phone. We got 4 exercises we're going to do. I told you 4 is our magic number today. We got push-ups for 45 seconds. We got jump switch lunges, back flies, and mountain climbers. So push-ups for 45 seconds. This may seem like a long time, and it will feel like a long time, especially once you get through it a few times. It doesn't matter what modality of push-up you use, as long as the last 10 seconds or so are tough. And that's the goal. On all these, we want the last 10 seconds or so to be work. We want to keep that heart rate up. We want to keep moving. If it's hard enough that you have to stop because you just don't have any more oomph to give, it's too hard. You need to downgrade. So if you're doing a level 3 push-up, right here, and you're getting to 40 seconds and you're really struggling, you're like, it's too hard. Drop down to a level 2 and just keep going. We're looking for constant motion today, cranking it out. So we'll get 45 seconds of push-ups. Then we're going to get 45 seconds of jump switch lunges. And this is part of the reason we did those lunges in the warm-up. No extra weight on these guys, but we're going to be in our lunge here, and you're just going to come up and down on the other side. Up and down. Up. Now, if you have an impact issue for your lunge, do reverse lunges and just do them at high speed. Slide that foot forward and back. That way it's controlled and you're not jamming your leg into the ground or trying to catch yourself on a weak ankle or knee or back. But if you are doing that and you need more oomph out of it so that you're getting the right amount of work, we're operating at that 90% effort level. This is where the water jugs come in handy. That'll make you weigh an extra 16 pounds. And that extra 16 pounds is going to add up, especially after a few rounds, 45 seconds. The third exercise, we got back flies. You can do, if you have a bench at home, you can use that. If you want to get a little more out of it and you want to keep your glutes and your hamstrings engaged, you can just bend over to do these. This is also where if you have the resistance band, you can use a resistance band instead of the jugs, all right, or the cans. But we're going to want to get set up nice and flat. Core is engaged, back is flat, right? I don't want to see anybody here. I'm going to flatten it out almost like you're getting pulled by your head. And we want to spread those toes out so you're holding onto the ground, especially for barefoot. And we're just going to squeeze them up and down. Nice and smooth and down. Notice I'm looking here, right? I'm not looking here. As you notice, as soon as I start doing this, what does my back do, right? It arches. That's not what we want. We want it flat. So, we want that head in that neutral position, but if we're bending over, that neutral position is here. And it's not like you need to look at anything, because you got a timer going on your phone. So unless you have a big mirror on the wall at home, there's nothing to look at anyway. So, with the weights, we're going to be right here. We're going to squeeze them up, squeeze them down, leading with the elbow, up and down. And we just want to stick it for a split second at the top and the bottom. If you're using a resistance band, you can adjust the amount of work you're getting by how closely together you're starting your hands, right? You can be right here, same position, and we're going to squeeze it up and down. Now obviously, you can be a little limited on the range of motion if you're using a band because it's only going to stretch so far, right? But you can adjust your hand position and you can squeeze it up and down, still focusing on squeezing between the shoulder blades, right? The nice part about the resistance band is you can do it standing up. So if you have a low back issue and it's giving you a problem, you just stand straight up, keep the core engaged. We're still engaged here. Pull it out in front of you, shoulders out of your ears. And we're doing the same thing. Squeezing it back, squeezing it forward. Keeping those muscles engaged through the whole range of motion. What we don't want to do is we don't want to squeeze it back and then snap it forward, as you're not really getting a ton out of it. The last exercise in the set are going to be mountain climbers for 45 seconds. And it's on the end for a reason. Because we're going to be in the same position as those push-ups, right? So, we're going to work that shoulder girdle endurance again. And we're going to be right here, nice and flat. And we're just going to bring the foot up. Pop, 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 pop. Notice I'm keeping my core fairly stable, right? This is not what we're looking for. I want to keep that core tight. 45 seconds, as fast as you can go. And then you get 1 minute of recovery. And that'll be just enough to get the heart rate down a little bit, grab a swig of water if you need it, and jump back in. And we're looking for somewhere between 3 and 6 times through the short little lifting circuit. You do that, you're going to have a great workout. Leave a comment down below, tell me how you liked it, tell me what you didn't like. If you have any modifications or things you need changed, let me know so I can incorporate it in the upcoming videos. Till next time, train smart.